Hello and welcome back. I've not been able to do too much last week because I've been busy at work and I've had many albums to listen to. I've listened to the new Cane Hill album, I've listened to the new Marmozets album. I've not been able to do reviews on them because I've been that busy, as I've just said, but an album has just come out that I've really wanted to listen to. I've been waiting for this album for over a year. So excited to hear it, and hopefully it's going to be good. Here is a rundown on the first half of tracks that I've been listening to today and my first impressions of it all. The title track, Technology. Hello 80s, with a nice little intro. Nothing wrong with that, it's good, I like it. There's a nice tambourine sound and a bit of automated clapping before it goes into the nice little drum beat. Boom, heavy bass driven guitar, or is it a bass with guitar effects? I don't know. There's a short little verse with lyrics and a light drum beat and a raw acoustic guitar. You can even hear when his fingers slide up and down from one string to another in parts. It's really quite nice. The chorus riffs jump in for a moment and then go back to the verse again. After this, a second verse, and then the chorus goes in proper. The lyrics are all really catchy and go nicely with those bass heavy riffs, and I found myself singing away after a few listens and quite easily got me into the song. The second verse is sung slightly different, but it works well. It's added deep low bass in the background, which is subtle and you don't hear it unless you really listen. The chorus again follows a slight key change, but then it moves into the breakdown. Drums, piano and vocals dominate this part. Some harmonised backing with a good tone before the chorus is back, however only lyrically. It makes the flow between the chorus and the breakdown work really well here. It ends with the most unexpected dirty riffs, but really works well for the whole rest of the song. Stay Ignorant. Bass slapping intro makes me groove like I'm in the 70s or listening to a house track. This stays the same for the whole verse, as well with added backing vocals. There's nice effects on the instruments as well. The chorus sounds good, that's all I'm going to say about this. If you like a bit of You Me at 6, it sounds a bit like that from their latest album. The part after the chorus fades deep into a bass dirty riff before going back into a slap bass verse. The breakdown puts that bass sounding verse into the background, incorporating an acoustic sound before becoming the lonesome part before dropping that bass again. It pauses to then throw you back into the chorus. Nothing overdone and simple in its execution. The outro brings back that deep bassy riff mentioned before just to give that song a bit of oomph to end it with. T-Shirt song. The song starts with drums and a bit of bass before going into a guitar riff. The riff sounds a bit like the Arctic Monkeys. A little bit of a soft-spoken verse, bass, drums, and the odd guitar scratching, and a harmonised electric sound of a synth from a keyboard. The second verse brings in a piano and keyboard with lyrics to build towards the chorus. I didn't expect the chorus to sound the way it did. I don't know why, there's nothing wrong with it, it just goes from the verse to the chorus. Quite fine. When this ends, it goes into a little section to place it back into the verse. On first listen, it took me out of the song and didn't sound like it was joined very well as it could have done for me. On listening to it again, it did sound a little bit better, but maybe it's just one of those where you have to listen to it a little bit more. When it goes from the verse to the chorus, it goes smoothly and doesn't sound out of place in that respect though. The chorus itself is just a few power chords and doesn't really take me out of the whole song. It's catchy in scale, as are the lyrics. As with many songs I've noticed with this album, some of the songs have lyrics that overlap well over different parts of the chorus to the breakdown. It merges it quite well in that respect there. This part begins with a brass section and a harmonic main and backing vocals. After a short pause, I'm left going, oh! As a cool guitar solo just appears, followed by added vocals. I didn't expect this part to just hit me the way it did. This is a great breakdown for me. After, it goes back into the chorus without skipping a beat and merges beautifully. The pre-verse lyrics are just sung over the chorus lyrics as well, bringing the song full circle without it sounding silly. Not all lyrics work well being sung this way, but this does. The song ends with the brass section again and what could well be a guitar effect until it fades. Come Out to LA. As soon as this song begins, my eyebrows raise. This is a bit different to anything I'd heard up until this point. It sounds so poppy. It sounds like a 2016-17 Justin Bieber intro to a song. And same as the verse. I thought, are they taking the piss out of these types of songs or are they actually being serious? I was again left eyes wide open when the intro lyrics came back in a more heavier vocal feel with guitar and drums. It just came out of the blue. I didn't like the way this part though was produced with the vocals. It sounded wrong to me. They transition it to chorus to intro and then back again into the chorus well, which has now just become one big chorus in itself. They use the guitars they have put in with heavy parts overlaying here in an organic way so it works better going forward. It adds a little timing change and then carries on just to break it up a little bit. The breakdown uses lyrics and a nice audio effect on the vocals, drums and a nice guitar bit towards the end. Just as this part ends, it has a terrible sounding and out of place "Come Out to LA." The outro is a mixture of its own thing and the chorus, and then ends with the intro but stops abruptly, which I wish it hadn't. The more I listen to this song, the more it grows on me. It is written well, and so many different parts and things going on. Just by listening to it, you appreciate its organisation. Though I'm not a big fan of the song overall, it's not as bad as my initial thoughts were. Pretty. This intro makes me think of something I expect in the 80s from a retro game when you've lost a life or just died. It goes into the verse before a little bit of guitars and light drums before slamming into a dirty grunge sounding riff, which is short-lived and then pushes you back into the verse again via a little guitar lick just to connect the two. The verse has two sections here compared to the first, which uses the same riffs as before but is made to sound completely different with good use of lyrical change and formula. It changes the dynamic without having to change anything else. It introduces a little pre-chorus with that 80s vibe again that just made me think of something from the new wave era. It then builds well with instruments and vocals to start getting towards that hard-hitting 8 days a week, suck it 8 days a week. You then know it's going back into those heavy riff choruses again. The breakdown comes with a nice chilled out section just like the verse. It goes into this beautifully with the lyrics just starting before the chorus again as mentioned earlier to make it really coherent. A mixture of drums, bass and synth again throwing that 80s nostalgia feel. A short bass with intro lyrics, then all the instruments and the backing vocals make you prepared for the final chorus what you're about to jump into. But it actually keeps it on your toes like the whole song does. They give you a slight pause which was unexpected but it doesn't put you out of the chorus. It keeps itself simple but changes things around enough in each phase to make the song fresh and different during the entire track. The blues. A nice little bass effect style intro here. It made me think of all those kind of film trailers that have been going around lately, just like Pacific Rim 2's first trailer. As it cut into the verse, I didn't think that really worked well. Maybe another kind of intro part they could have used, but it wasn't really what I kind of liked anyway. This song takes the same kind of tone as many others, a soft sounding verse and that kind of pop sound. The chorus goes in heavier, as I would have expected again, with bass heavy guitar riffs. The chorus outro I do like, the guitar riff pausing between bars, ending with a nice slap riff to go back to the verse. The second verse doesn't sound as poppy as the first bit. Maybe I just heard it differently, then back to the chorus again. To progress the song into the breakdown, it brings in a short rendition of lyrics used previously. Got to play it cool, got to play it cool. Now we got the blues, now we got the blues. In an electric keyboard effect with a harmonised sound on its own. My instant thought was, who put The Weeknd on this track? It sounds just like him. I like the guitar in the breakdown bit. It's like its own little chorus within itself. It does go into an end section which incorporates parts from all areas of the rest of the song and finishes with the Weeknd part again. Tightrope. I like the intro into this. Nice little bit of bass, a nice 80s kind of sounding background bit. The singing goes along with this as well in a really good way. Again, with that 80s kind of feel. You can't help but move to the beats. The chorus doesn't change it up too much and just adds that heavier feel to it, but not to make it out of place. You can hear that 80s beat during the entire song. It just quietens during the chorus and then comes back more prominent during the verse again. It makes it flow really well, keeping that same kind of feel. After that great verse, the chorus returns again. It all goes quiet and leaves the singer talking on his own, with a light sound of music behind him, and a nice little guitar effect again. It throws it into the heavy part of the vocals, sung with heart and meaning. It does well at breaking up that pattern change in the chorus, with one last throw before the lyrics fade out to another 80s synth type finish. It fades out a bit too quick though for me, and it might have been left a little bit longer to be more organic. Everybody. When I did hear this first song, I was captivated with the voice straight away. I thought, this guy can sing. After the intro, you're instantly thrown into the chorus riffs that just have you moving to the beat. Simple, catchy. The verse is just a chilled out but upbeat affair of soft drums, bass and the occasional drop of a guitar that totally rely on the brilliant vocals to progress the song. The two contrasts don't feel wrong at all because the intro has used a good effect to build the start of the chorus with that added backing guitar from before. The chorus section uses simple lyrics to portray itself in a way where you're not just left underwhelmed or overcooked as it's short enough to allow this. The pre-verse kicks in right after this chorus and flows well back into a short rendition of the verse before a breakdown section. Again, this uses part of the intro, but adds tried and trusted, slow build of drums and bass to the chorus again. It relies on the lyrics more than the instruments to get the listener to the final chorus section. You find yourself shouting out right near the end of the chorus with the fuck this time, fuck, and a grooving little beat to the end. Playing this loud is a must. Greatness. When the song starts with a little cowbell in the background, I kept thinking it was going to go into Rick Astley and Never Gonna Give You Up. The guitar that comes in is great. It sounds funky and I'm digging it. Real funky bass, verse with drums, and this just takes over with it, add a little piano and a chorus with the same kind of bass in the background. The guitar riff from the intro kicks in the chorus with that cowbell and you just can't get enough of this sound. The second part of the chorus just adds that little bit more by changing up the riffs but adding in a few of the chords differently to make it into a little mini verse of its own with its slight different bass organisation and background instruments, but the sound stays the same before going into a funky chorus again. A quiet bit comes up next with a light piano and guitar. Smooth lyrics getting that outro to begin. It builds up the chorus to a second part of the chorus, so it tells you you'll get into the last point before the song's over. The second part of the chorus came in well then to end the song off. I can't get another song, it's just pure funk and I love it.